As soon as I saw the convention sign, I knew Hannah was going to be back. Quantum Leap, Season 2, Episode 8, Off the Cuff, my review. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to, well, the last review of 2023 until Quantum Leap returns sometime early 2024. Yes, this is the last episode of the year before its Christmas break. This episode is entitled Off the Cuff, and Ben leaps into the body of Stephen Allison in 1961 in Cairo in Egypt. And this episode is filmed on location there as well and looks fantastic. It does also. So he leaps into the body of this fella who is a CIA agent out in the field on his first mission, and he links up with a spy or someone in Egypt called Layla, who's in cahoots with a East German spy, trying to get the East German spy for the Americans and this sort of a thing. And that's what the story is. It's a spy episode basically, and Ben is there to try and get this Layla out of Egypt, get her safe while the East Germans are after her and all this sort of thing. But that's not the biggie. That's not the biggie of this episode. The biggie of this episode is the return of Hannah. Yes, Hannah is back. This is the character who's popped up twice before on two different leaps that Ben has been on. It's been 6 years since he last saw her, but she has been waiting for him. She has been looking for him in other people, and this is where this episode's strengths come in, because this gives the character of Ben an emotional story arc. He's got fantastic chemistry with the actress who plays Hannah Carson. Yeah, I mean, as the episode goes, as a standalone episode, it's exciting, it's fast-paced, but it is raised above anything else by this Hannah stuff, because, you know, I want to see where this goes. I want to see this character pop up a few times, and in my mind, I know that it's going to end in a gut-wrench punch kind of a thing. I mean, why anyone hasn't looked into her future and seen how she ends her life, not how she ends her life, but how her life comes to an end, what happens to her. I think this will be played out in upcoming episodes. We will see Ben leaping into different elements of her life, and he might actually leap to a point where she's older. Each leap that he has, he meets her further down the line in her life, until maybe he leaps into someone and he catches up with her as an older woman, and she ends up passing away. And in this, it kind of gives me memories of, you know, the Captain America and Agent Carter storyline, the sort of man out of time element that is so fitting for that, and such a story grab. So you've got an episode here that is exciting, that is got a lot of emotional weight to it, some good acting. Obviously Addison is back in the role as Ben's hologram, and she's back in the role at the point that, well, Ben meets up with this Hannah again. But she's got her own stuff going on. At the beginning of the film, we see her we see her with Tom. We see her come across a ring, an engagement ring. So there's going to be a proposal on the cards for these two. She hides the ring, pretends she hasn't seen it. And then at the end of the episode, we're back together with these two, and he's come back from where he's got called away to, and he's got a file, and there's potentially a way to bring Ben home. They know how, apparently, whether it works or not, they've got a way to bring Ben home. And, you know, and this is where some of this is going to go. This is where this episode might go, or this storyline might go, because Ben might choose not to come home, because he wants to meet up, or he hopes to meet up with Hannah again, and that will keep him wanting to continue doing his leaps. There is an element of play in this episode where seemingly Ben has failed in the leap, that the person he's there to protect has purportedly been killed, and they don't know what will happen. They don't know whether that means he will leap or won't leap, or whether he'll now be stuck in 1961. But if he was stuck in 1961, he'd be stuck with Hannah, and he could live out a life with her, and that might be, they assume that potentially that's what could have happened to Sam Beckett, and this sort of a thing. Lou Diamond Phillips plays a small role in this as Station Chief Barnes, CIA Station Chief over in Cairo. I didn't recognise him at first. I had to look twice to see that it was him. It is him. Obviously, Lou Diamond Phillips from, well, I remember him from Young Guns, as far back as Young Guns, the movie, Young Guns 1 and 2. Yeah, a good episode. Oh, no, a strong episode, fantastic episode for season 2, and that comes down to the fact that it's giving you something different. It's giving you this story for Ben, a story of continuity between episodes, whereas normally you wouldn't have that for the character of Ben, because generally he just goes on leap on leap on leap, and he's on these missions and completes it, and he moves on to the next one. So it's nice to give this character a sort of you know, she called it a home, someone to keep coming back to and grow a relationship with, because this is something that Quantum Leap lacks in its structure, in that he can't grow a relationship with anyone beyond whoever his hologram is, because he keeps going into different people and different time periods. So it's nice to have that pop up every now and then, this sort of love interest that he can grow and form a relationship with, and inevitably have an emotional gut punch at the end of said relationship. So very good episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts down below. Do you think that I'm right, that it may go this way, and, you know, Ben keeps seeing her later and later? Because technically, you know, you could do the sort of storyline where she has seen him again already, but he hasn't been there in that time yet, if that makes sense. You know, what's to stop him leaping back to 1955 and meeting her again, and she has, in a leap, she has pre-knowledge of a meeting that he hasn't yet had, because that's how time travel works. But or is it all going to be linear? I think it's all going to be linear, to the point that different elements of her, at different times of her life, until she's old, and that relationship that he could have had, he can't have anymore because she's at end of life. But yeah, fantastic, very good, thoroughly enjoyed it. Let me know your comments, your thoughts, and I'll see you, well, if you're just watching this, if you watch the rest of my channel, that's great, subscribe. If not, I will see you in 2024 when it returns in that early part of quarter of the year. See you then.